Ready.
Hey there, I'm author Shannon Reber, and this is Genre's Bookshop podcast. And since we are what is it, dynamic trio? No, dynamic duo. So we will be the Three
Two.
Musketeers. We got to be the Three Musketeers of book review podcasts.
Yeah,
Okay?
I think so.
Work for
That
you?
works.
All right.
Fitting.
Can't think of anything. I can't think of any alliteration that works.
I
Three.
can't think of other. We can come up with something later.
The threesome sounds kind of like
It
yeah.
sounds bad.
Mm-mm.
No, that's bad.
Company.
Okay, well, I'm author Shannon Reber. The chick next to me is narrator Brandi Baelfire, and the dude below us is reader Ryan
Ryan.
Bennett.
Yeah, I
We'll
don't
just
really
go
have a
with
thing.
reader. Dude.
Mustard connoisseur.
Yes, mustard connoisseur. That is exactly what you are, my friend.
Yeah, that's what I do. And I read.
Yes, he does. He has
I read.
how many bottles of mustard are in your refrigerator right now, my friend?
Uh, I had to cut back because I used them all eight right now. Eight
Yeah.
different kinds.
Yeah, it's very important.
It's
And
it's not a
he will give
problem.
you a
It's a
long
lifestyle.
it is, yes. He will give you a long description of the mustards too. Just
Yeah.
in case you need some advice on mustard, go to Ryan.
Right. He should make a whole podcast about that.
I think we'll too. Anyways, let's try to
Let's
focus
go.
on what we're
Yeah.
supposed to do here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we decided to do was each of us picked a book for the other. I picked a book for Ryan, Ryan picked a book for Andy, and Andy picked a book for me. So I say Ryan goes first because I'm in charge over here. And this is one of my favorite trilogies that I have ever read, and I have been trying for
Oh, it's
so
only.
long.
Is there going to be a fourth one that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. All
It
right.
ends. I mean, it ends the way it
Oh,
should.
it has a clear.
Yes, it
Okay.
does. But
Because I did. Okay. Can I?
this is one of my favorite trilogies, and I needed you to read it so that I could turn you into a fantasy fan. So,
And it sort of worked. I mean, I'm not gonna. My next book is not going to be a fantasy book, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it.
okay.
I read Night, Fay Games Book Two by Karen Lynch. Is what it kind of looks like. It's all backwards.
Yeah.
I liked it. I read the first one, let's say 6 months ago-ish,
Was
and
it
I
that?
really liked it.
Oh,
I think it's six. I don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me. Um, I um, I read it. I read the first one. I liked it.
yeah.
And then when you said the second one, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll enjoy it. I like the first one better. Not that I didn't
Yes.
like the second one, but I like the first one better.
Yes,
And I ordered
exactly.
the third one. It comes hopefully this next week because I want to try to get a book read during my work week so I can start with the book
Ah,
three. Then of
gotcha.
course, yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so give a synopsis that can tell people a basic idea. Just very
Okay.
basic, no spoilers.
Okay. So there's a bounty hunter named Jesse, and she is a bounty hunter, and there's this big bounty that's out there that's at it's Fairy. It's an artifact that has gone missing, and people need to look for it, and nobody can find it. And there's like $100,000 bounty fee, which is like the highest one they've ever given. It's like a level six when usually she's used to doing levels threes and level fours. And the story takes place with that happening at the beginning. And it's kind of, she's like, well, I want to do that for the money, but also I need to just still keep getting money incrementally. So she goes on different odd jobs, and the story kind of talks about her growth as a bounty hunter with that in the background. And then towards like the last like 50 pages is all kind of syncs up, and everything that happened led to it. You didn't really realize it was happening, but then at the end, it all kind of came together in a nice little cute way to end it. But I like the second
Cute.
one better.
I was pissed off at the end of book two. I was so ticked at her. Like, you are such a brat. How old are you, kid? Like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? It was not Lucas's fault. Jeez. Are you kidding me? I was
No
furious. I'm
spoilers.
not
Yeah,
spoilering.
I can't. Like this is no, I'm not want to spoil it. I wasn't really ticked off at anything. I thought
Oh, really?
You know,
Okay.
I mean, at the very end, I mean, that's a big change, and
Yes.
I don't want
Yes.
to go
I
into
get that.
detail,
Yeah. No, yeah,
but
no. Because I want Andy to read it too. Andy has to
yeah,
read it too.
it's definitely I could email it to you, but you're not getting my little raccoon trash panda bookmark.
Oh,
Not
No,
happening.
man.
no. I've got my own. It was made for me by the Holy Angels.
The
I don't know.
holy angels made you.
Some like a
Oh,
little it's a kind of like if Austin's older and he still like can't do anything, like it's people
okay.
with disabilities, like kind of community center sort of
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Oh,
And they made them for all the people at our work. Like I get something every month, but this was my bookmark this month. I loved
that's
it.
Oh, cool.
very nice. I
It's
like
like
it.
it's like hand stitched. But anyway, so
Okay.
you're not getting mine either.
Oh,
Okay.
And I don't want your
My
trash panda.
my trash panda. But yeah, I give it. I don't know what I gave the other one. I don't know if we have that
yeah,
on.
we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I know. I'd probably go a full maybe point and a half lower. So I think the first one
Okay.
I'd probably give like an 8.5. This one I'd give like a 7, maybe a 6.723.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I liked it, but I really like the first one because
Okay.
the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one
Me too. Me too.
the first one could have been standalone by itself.
Yes, I totally agree with
So
you.
I'm not a big serial
Yeah,
series
yeah,
reader.
yeah.
I like
Mm,
Weirdo.
standalone. I
so
mean,
strange.
yeah. I mean, if you put all the books together, it's still going to be
Yes.
like 800
Mhm.
pages. I mean, put that in
True.
one
Yeah,
book.
that's a Stephen
What do you
King
got,
book right
800?
there. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
smaller than a Stephen King book.
yeah, it's still short. Well, this book, the font seemed a little smaller for my eyes, and I think I need to go
Oh,
get glasses. Well, new glasses, I should
oh,
say.
oh.
Yeah.
Well,
So, but yeah, I give it like a 6, a high 6, low 7.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, personally, I give book one like a maybe 9.6 star rating, and I'm
yeah,
with you. I would say book two, I would say like 8.5. But
yeah,
I like that kind of fantasy much more,
yeah,
so my
yeah.
rating is always going to be higher than yours on things like that.
Yeah,
But
and
Andy,
it's
you
not that it
need to
wasn't a
read
bad.
Fae Games.
Yeah, it
You
wasn't a
need to.
bad book. It just
Okay.
was the first one was like, wow,
I know. But that
it
that
blew
world,
something away. It blew it
the
away.
world of that trilogy is so cool because
Yeah.
there's a tear in the rift between the Fae world and the human world. So
Mhm.
Fae and humans are living in the world together and they know about each other. So, there's like a class system in the Fae world, and it's sort of bled over into the human world.
Mhm.
And it's a really interesting way of doing it. And
Yeah.
I was a big fan.
Yeah.
And that lady, the writer of those books,
Karen.
Karen
Yeah.
Lynch, yes. She wrote probably the first vampire story I ever read. It was called Relentless, and it was I really liked it at the time, but I mean, I read books over and over, but the more I read it, the less I liked it. So if I had just gone with my very first impression of that vampire series, I probably would have given it like, 10 bookmarks, but
Mhm.
going back, I'm like, yeah, 5, maybe 5. They're all annoying.
Ah.
Hmm.
But I mean, she is a very good writer, and one of my
Yeah.
favorite from the vampire story world is called Hellion, and it's one of the characters from uh the first series is the main character in that series and in that single book, and it is so good. And yeah, so there you go. It
Okay. Yeah.
it's called Hellion.
I wrote it down. I also wrote the movie we were talking about earlier too. So I got
Movie.
something
Oh
buck wild.
yes, yeah.
I'm gonna watch that later.
Oh man, I don't know where you're gonna find it. I hope you do because
Good
it
luck.
was
Yeah.
buck
I
wild.
got a little, yeah, fine. I'm working 10 to 6 tonight, so
Yeah.
You
Fine,
will
good.
have time. Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, let me know
yeah.
what you think about that
Okay.
one.
No, you
Okay.
better not do
I
weird
Uh-oh,
What? What happened?
Ryan's frozen again.
Oh no. Well,
He'll
at
come
least
back
it's not
around.
like picking his nose or something. I
At
mean,
least there's that.
there is that, yeah.
We could take a screenshot and then we could just put him
Uh,
on his
Yeah, I'll do a little sketch quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. Oh, okay, he's back.
Hey, you're
There
back.
it is.
Yeah,
were
my
ju-
internet's doing weird things. I don't know if
Yes.
my landlords are watching TV or something. I don't know. I mean, it's
Um,
TV time.
You were
it
in a
is,
great
that's true.
pose. Like you looked very like
Contemplative, yes.
yes,
Okay, because
for
you
sure.
girls were, I think you had your finger up your nose. No,
Oh,
I'm just
well,
kidding.
I mean, it's better than up my butt.
She
So,
even
I
said
mean,
it. At least he wasn't thinking it.
Okay,
well,
Um,
That's funny.
okay.
there you
So,
go.
so, Andy, let's hear what you think of the book I suggested then.
Okay. Ryan suggested The Book Thief for me. And it's about it's written from Death's perspective, and it's written during the time period of World War II in Nazi Germany. And it's this little girl who's, I mean, she's already had a hard life. She's about 10 years old, and she witnesses her brother just die on the train, but she's on her way to go to a foster family. Um, because and her dad, she doesn't know where he is. They keep calling him a communist, but she doesn't know what it means. And it's just kind of her journey through you know, the Nazi world, and they're burning books, and she goes over there and she's stealing books, and because she just
Ah,
loves to, she finds this love of reading, and I think that she's going to end up finding a love of writing too, based off of just what kind of the a death has said during the thing. I'm only about halfway through it, but it is so beautifully written, like with brushstrokes and artistically written. It's not just she walked down the street or she was wearing a red shirt. It's she was the red shirt, and it's just so different, like a different way to
very
think
cool.
about it. Or but anyway, and then they end up taking a Jew into the basement during this time, and it's just kind of going through the trials and tribulations of this family, and it gets like really, it's just one of those Nazi Germany stories where you get to see like kind of an insider perspective, but from Death's perspective
That's
of
awesome.
and there's one point, like I remember this because I read it out loud to my husband, and I said, Jed, like listen to this. And I said, this is Death describing Stalingrad. He says that in the mornings the sky was white like a freshly laundered sheet, and by the end of the day it would be so filled with blood that he would just tuck it up and drag it away, and then like it would just be bulging with so much blood, and then he would go and he would wash it and he would lay the sky out again the next day. And that's just kind of like
That's
the
wow.
tone and like how it's written.
Yeah.
It's a very beautifully written story. So
Mhm.
I haven't finished it yet. I feel like it's going to get really tearful.
Yeah.
So not having finished it, just based off what I've got so far, I give it a 9.5.
Oh,
It's very
Wow.
good, but I
Wow.
can't give it a 10 because I haven't finished it.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be a really good one. I'm more
Yeah.
open-minded to like different
Yeah.
genres too. So I'm not
Yeah.
like I only like fantasy.
that's
So I
me.
do
Mm.
That's my
yeah. Yes, it
No,
is. But I'm like open to everything. And this one
okay.
was a very good change of pace, and it's written kind of it's got a slow pace, but it's got things that are happening at the same time. So it's a very good like before bed read. You're just going,
yeah.
oh,
Oh,
so it's
Yeah.
good. I like it.
that
Enjoying it.
I have had that book recommended to me so many times, and I keep thinking, but hearing
Well,
you describe it now, I
yeah.
really want to read it.
One of my senior when I was in high school, I went to the same school that I worked at, and when I was
Mm.
working there, the English teacher knew that I was a big reader, and she's like, "Hey, Ryan, have you read this book yet?" I'm like, "Well, no, what is it?" And she showed it to me. It's like probably like the best book I read in the last 5 years. I'm like, "Well, I got to read it now."
Wow.
So yeah, I devoured it. So yeah, I read it like over a weekend, and it is it is a
For
very
a
chunky
high
book.
school kid, that's
No, 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 no,
impressive.
no, no. Well, I was an adult. I was an
Oh,
adult when I was
oh, okay,
working. And
okay.
she's like, "Yeah, you got to read."
Ah.
I'm not. I mean, I'm old, so that mean that book came out 2011. I'd have to.
Oh,
I'd get
okay,
throw out
okay.
a guess. Yeah,
I keep forgetting that part.
yeah. I'm old.
Oh,
Got a dust
well,
on my hand.
oh, Oh, that's pretty funny,
Aren't we
actually.
all?
Well, I'm
Yeah.
the oldest one here, so you can both just shut up.
Alright. Noted.
Don't worry, I was kidding. It was a joke. Calm.
Think you're better than me because you're older than me?
Well, I mean, there
Just
is
kidding.
that, but
Okay.
Joel, one of his favorite movies from a long time ago, it's called Rushmore. And it's this like private school, this complete slacker of a kid goes to this private school, and he's a playwright, and he's a terrible playwright. But he's always getting in trouble, and Joel has two favorite lines from this movie, and the administrator is basically saying, if you don't get your grades up, you are the worst student in this school. If you don't get your grades up, you're leaving. And when he says, you are the worst student in this school, the kid, very serious look on his face, glasses, he goes, can I see some documentation on that? And Joel thinks that it's the funniest line he's ever heard in his entire life.
He
But
would.
it's he would, exactly. But the next one is when he gets to public school, he writes this sort of, I don't even know. He writes this play, and he's talking to someone else, and he goes, I wrote a hit play. What have you done? So when Ryan said that, I was going, well, I wrote a hit book. What have you done? But I didn't think anyone would get it unless I explained. So, I mean, granted, it's
I
not a hit
gotcha.
book, but
Well, you get an 8-second rule for a comeback. I think you went past that.
I went like 5 minutes past that.
8 seconds.
All right,
Uh,
Shannon, I cannot wait to hear what you
I'm
think of
excited to hear about this.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Okay, I gotta tell you, I was not excited. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, I've had the book in the shop. It's whatever. But I started listening to it, and the narrator was really good. That always helps. But I was hooked in like probably 2 minutes. It starts out in modern America, and you've got a guy. He's basically handed papers by a guy in sunglasses, and this guy tells him that he needs to read these, and there's more to it, but it turns out that it's Abraham Lincoln's journals, and so you have this guy sort of discovering that these things are happening in the world, and you never go back to that guy. But I love how that's how the book started, was the writer's point of view. And so you've got Abe Lincoln. I As soon as I started listening to it, I was like, oh my gosh, I know some of that. That's true. Oh my gosh, that's true too. Holy cow, that's true too. And I started like the more I kept going through, I was like, holy cow, this is really historically accurate. That's amazing. But all the guy did was he took his knowledge of Abraham Lincoln and wove a vampire story around it. And it was the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Yes.
It was so good. I really cannot express to you, like I was thinking, yeah, I'm probably just going to be giving it a 5-star review because, whatever. But as soon as I started, I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. So I'm at like 9.967 bookmarks for this book. Simply because of how historically accurate it was. Two, because you made Abe Lincoln a vampire hunter, and I mean, how can you not love that?
They even like wove in the whole like he's a tree chopper thing. Like
Yes.
And the movie is every bit as good. Like
I've never seen the movie.
The effects of the movie and everything, man, I love the book. I love the movie. I love the whole vibe.
See, I'm not a vampire. That's like my least favorite fantasy creature, but I loved this series. Well, book. Sorry, I'm used to saying
Right.
series. I loved
Right.
this book. It was so good. So
Well,
yeah, and
I'm
also
glad you
freaking
enjoyed it.
historically accurate. That was
Yes.
amazing.
And what did that
So
lead you to find?
I did actually find out that what's her name? Lincoln's wife, Mary
Mary
Todd.
Todd.
Mary Todd.
Mhm.
I did find out that she really did have migraines, and they were under
Yeah.
the impression that she probably also had uh schizophrenia. And I personally think that some of her issue did have to do with postpartum depression. I think a lot of
Makes
that
sense.
like wove together to make her seem unstable to him when these
Right.
days, it would have been horrible and tragic, the loss of two of her sons. Wait, or was it
Mhm.
three? No, two. Two of her sons. It would have been
Right.
horribly tragic, but it would have been easier for her to deal with, probably
Right.
with an antidepressant or, even just therapy.
Right. And exacerbated by the fact that her husband's out vampire hunting all night.
Well,
I
I mean,
mean,
there is that.
In the end, it's slavery. A
There's
lot
that
of them
too.
guys play.
Well, see,
Wow,
that was
exactly.
that was
that is
really
a
c-
Hungry Man's meal.
that was a really cool thing too, because what they did with slavery was basically
Damn it.
make the slave owners they tended to be vampires because it was easier for a vampire to drain a slave than, just a normal random
Because it's
person
easy to
walking
make
in.
slaves disappear.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Exactly. And
Nobody's gonna care when the slave disappears.
Wow.
Same
right,
thing, same, with prostitutes, serial killers kill prostitutes
right.
because nobody's gonna go looking for them. Or and not that nobody
Exactly.
will, but it's
Yeah, I
harder to
know.
know, like, when they've gone missing and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
That it
same idea.
was I really liked the book.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm kind of I put it in my cart when you were talking on Amazon, and I didn't realize it's not a sequel per se, but there's another one by the same author called The Last American Vampire.
Wow.
I
Oh,
think it's more of a, it looks like World War II sort of vampire hunter.
Oh, that
So
sounds fun.
I
interesting.
put that in my cart too. So
Hey,
I
she
gotta
also
say,
found
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You tell him.
she also found Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
yeah, I saw that. I've
I
never
I'm not
read
a
have to read
zombie
it.
fan.
this.
I have to. I
She
need to
loves
know.
zombies. She's gonna
I
read
Yeah,
that.
I get
I'm
it
not a
though.
zombie
yeah, I'm
fan.
not a,
Oh, all
when you
right.
read one, you kind of read them all. They're all about the
Exactly.
But
same.
it's Pride and freaking Prejudice. I mean, when you add
Ugh.
zombies to Pride and Prejudice, it goes from a pretty boring story to
I've read Warm Bodies. That's kind of, it's like a love story with a zombie story, and
that
yeah,
that does sound
Ugh.
but
amazing.
it's
Yeah,
Eh,
totally. Not
gross.
my thing. Sorry, that's not where I go with the
I need one of
zombies.
those emojis on my face right now. The throw up one. Just put one of those over me, Shannon, right there on my hand.
Okay,
Warm Bodies.
I'll do that.
Thanks.
I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure a way just for you, my friend.
Gotta be a way.
I know how to do it.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll let you do this.
Remember, I made a whole movie.
That's true. You did. Ryan, she's also a movie producer.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
made one movie.
you made
I
one movie.
Yeah, it's called The Warrior Heir. It's a book by Cinda Williams Chima. And when I was a music teacher, we had a class called WIN, like stands for whatever I need. And I got the green group, which was the kids that were like doing really well in class and they didn't really need any remediation. So they went to
Mhm.
my class to do extra things. So what we did in my class was I was like, well, then we're gonna read a really good book, I guess. So I got us all a set of books. And I just opened it up and I was like, "Let's just read." And this is actually what started me on the narrator journey. But anyway, we read this book from cover to cover, and it was a huge book. The kids had never read a book this big. And surprisingly, because, school system, whatever. But they loved it. They loved it so much that they convinced me. At first, it was like, let's do a play. And then the play just got like out of hand so much that we were like, let's just make a movie. Let's just record it all and we'll put it into movie form. And like on the last week of school, we put it together, special effects. Everybody had a part. Like it was the cheesiest but best thing those kids had ever done. And I made them all a DVD of it. And the whole community came in. We made popcorn and we all watched the movie on the big screen. And the kids were just like,
Oh.
you know, they were stars. They're still stars in the town, and it was like 3 or 4 years ago. They're never gonna be forgotten, and they still text me. They're like, "What you doing, Miss Smith?" And I'm like, "Yeah, aren't you supposed to be in class?"
Aren't you supposed to be?
Mm.
What? Come
Yeah,
on.
but it was really hard, but really, really fun. It took us like 3 whole months, and I was staying up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, like editing this thing. But it was really awesome. And yeah, so that was the one movie we did. It was like a full like hour and 40-minute long movie.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is totally impressive. And
Yeah.
that is true dedication to being a very
is
cool
dedication.
teacher.
Yeah.
Well, what can I say? I know.
But the thing that still makes me sad for you about that is it was one song that one of your kids wanted to put into the movie, and because of
Yeah.
that song,
Can't
YouTube
be
took
on
you
YouTube.
down.
Yep, it was Back in Black. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Yep.
Mm.
She wanted
Sounds-
she wanted to do the credits, and she was dead set on that being the song for the credits. And YouTube was like,
yeah, you didn't buy the rights. Yeah.
Oh,
nope. So can't be
that's
like
that makes me sad for you.
But we were able to contact the author and tell her that this happened, and she has a copy of the movie as well, and she was very
No
Oh,
excited
way.
nice.
for
Oh,
production.
that's so fun.
She sent like a
That's
whole
fun.
email to the kids, and they were like, "Oh,
And
Pretty
by the way,
awesome thing.
her kids interviewed me a couple years ago,
They
and
did,
they
they
are
did.
the nicest group of kids like ever.
They were an awesome group of kids. It's one of those like really good groups of kids.
Mhm.
That's every 3 years, and that was an awesome group.
I
So,
do agree.
anyway,
Very good group.
Mhm.
Okay, so just so that we know what's going on, next week Ryan and I, you are invited, Andy, but I don't know if you can do it. Ryan and I are interviewing author David Fairhead. And the last time I interviewed him, I introduced him as author David Whitehead. So if I say his name wrong this time, Ryan, you are required to go Fairhead, Fairhead, Fairhead. Okay.
Yikes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do my that's my only job.
That's your only job. That's all you got to do.
My only job.
But yeah, I felt like an idiot. Whitehead, Fairhead. You know, I mean, it's the same thing, but it came out wrong. Oh.
Yeah.
But
is it?
so we are interviewing him for his upcoming book. His book is not out yet, but he wants to get a leg up on promoting his upcoming book. So
Right.
we are interviewing him, and it's a series of short stories. They are horror, but they are emotional horror. It's not as he said it's not as what did he say? It's not as I don't remember what he said.
Gory, suspenseful, thriller.
No, bloody. It was bloody.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not as
I was
bloody
close
as
with
his
gory.
other ones. That's true. That's true. So I haven't started reading them yet, but I'll start listening tonight. And what he said is please don't mention to each other or to him which short story we liked best, because he wants to guess which story we liked best after talking to us. He wants to see if he can pinpoint which story we like just by the personality.
All right. Okay. That's put
That
yourself
sounds
out there,
fun.
guy. What's out there?
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, sort of.
So, yeah, that's what we're doing. Hopefully Eddie can do it. I don't know if he can, but no
Yeah.
worries if you can't. And I don't know when we're meeting again after that, but we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
We'll be in
Yeah.
touch.
Absolutely.
All right. So,
Oh,
guys,
wait, Shannon, we haven't talked about what else we're reading.
Oh yeah, you gotta tell me, but it's gotta be quick. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Okay. I'm reading the second remember we were talking about Three Body
Three body
Problem?
problem.
Oh,
Yep. We're finishing the series and
ooh.
Shannon, it's getting wild. Ryan, it's getting wild. I cannot wait to tell you all about it because this shit is off the table. Anyway, I'm not gonna do any spoilers.
Okay,
Shannon, what
okay.
are you reading?
It's called The Broken Blade. The cover is awesome. The chick on the front cover has silver eyes and they sort of shimmer on the cover, and that was actually the reason that I picked it up was because of the shimmery eyes. And it's epic
Cool.
fantasy, which again, I haven't been a huge fan. But it is so good, and it's fae and it's dark fae and it's humans who are jerks who are oppressing the halflings, and the halflings are basically enslaved to the king. And yeah, it's right now I don't know how far in I am, but I am so loving it. And books 1 and 2 are both on Audible whatever the free books on Audible, so I only have to buy book 3. So I will be able to read this full series so fast because I'm definitely buying book 3.
Oh, good.
All right, Ryan, what about you, dude?
Well, I started to read 13 Reasons Why. They made it into a Netflix movie. I read it a few years ago and I was talking with somebody I work with and she said she really liked the show and I'm like, hey, you should read the book. And she read it one shift together. And so she gave it to me and I forgot the night book, the Fae Games book when I went to do my laundry, but I had 13 Reasons Why in my car, so I started that. And then I'm gonna try to reread Annihilation. They made it into a movie with Natalie Portman about
Oh,
like this part of the Florida Everglades are like alien inhabited and things are weird. So I'm gonna reread
cool.
that. And that's part of
Okay.
it.
Well,
I'm
hold
down
on
for
a second.
aliens.
How is 13
Series,
Reasons Why?
It's what?
How is 13 Reasons Why? That's the chick who it's the 13 reasons why she killed herself, isn't that?
Yeah.
Am I right?
And she left yeah,
Okay.
but it's a
Okay.
little more, yeah. And it's a very quick read,
Okay.
very accessible.
Okay, gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
maybe it'll be our next review.
Maybe.
No.
Perhaps.
Okay, well,
Tune
gotta
in next time.
next time, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's it, and it was lovely to see you all, and I will see you
Lovely to see you guys.
see you
Bye,
guys later.
Ryan. Bye, Shannon.
Bye, Andy.
See ya. See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.